In today's digital world, our smartphones have become essential for daily life, serving as our communication tool, entertainment device, and personal assistant. However, many people don't realize the hidden risks that come with these devices. While we use our phones for tasks like texting, shopping, and browsing social media, there's a dark side that many are unaware of. Behind the scenes, many apps are collecting vast amounts of personal data, tracking our movements, and even monitoring our conversations. This data collection often happens without our explicit consent, making it a serious privacy concern. When we install apps, we're usually asked to grant certain permissions, such as access to the camera, microphone, location, and contacts. While some permissions may seem necessary for the app to function properly, many apps ask for far more access than they actually need. For example, some social media apps request microphone or camera access even when you aren't actively using the app, which means they could be recording your conversations or capturing images in the background without you realizing it. These apps collect this data to build detailed profiles of your habits and preferences, which are then used to target you with personalized ads or sold to third parties. Another concerning practice is location tracking. Many apps request access to your location, and while this may seem harmless, especially for navigation or weather apps, some apps continue to track your movements even when you've disabled location services. Apps can track your location through Wi-Fi networks, Bluetooth, or even your IP address, making it almost impossible to remain anonymous. They use this information to create a detailed map of your movements, which is often shared with advertisers or used to make assumptions about your lifestyle and behavior. In addition to apps, the phone's operating system itself, whether it's iOS or Android, also collects data about your usage. Both Apple and Google have been criticized for their data collection practices, with reports showing that they track everything from your location to your search history, app usage, and even interactions with other devices. Even when you think you're not being tracked, there are hidden features that continue to collect data. For example, iPhones have a feature called Significant Locations, which stores a log of places you've visited, even if you've turned off location tracking for individual apps. Similarly, Android devices have built-in features that track your movements and interactions with apps. Even more concerning is the potential for apps to access your phone's microphone and camera without your knowledge. There have been reports of apps using the microphone to listen to conversations in the background, or using the camera to monitor your surroundings. While these apps may claim that this data is used to improve their services or deliver more relevant ads, it raises serious privacy concerns. Some apps can even record video or take photos without your consent, turning your phone into a surveillance device without you ever knowing. The data collected by these apps is often shared with third-party companies, including advertisers, data brokers, and even government agencies. This means that your personal information is being sold, traded, and used to target you with specific ads or services, often without your knowledge. While some apps are transparent about their data collection practices, many aren't, leaving you in the dark about how your information is being used. So, what can you do to protect your privacy? First, it's essential to review the permissions that apps request before installing them. Take a moment to consider whether an app truly needs access to sensitive information, like your location, microphone, or camera. Many apps ask for permissions that are unnecessary for their functionality, so be cautious about granting access. You can also review and adjust the permissions of apps you've already installed, limiting access to the data they don't need. For example, you can disable location tracking, turn off microphone access, and limit camera permissions. It's also a good idea to regularly check your phone's privacy settings. Both iOS and Android have built-in privacy features that allow you to control the data your phone collects. You can disable location tracking entirely, turn off ad tracking, and limit the data that apps can share with third parties. These settings can help minimize the amount of personal data that's being collected and shared. Another important step is to be cautious about the apps you install. While most apps are legitimate, some may be designed to collect and misuse your data. Avoid downloading apps from untrusted sources, and always check an app's reviews and permissions before installing it. Additionally, consider using privacy-focused apps that prioritize user security and data protection. In conclusion, While smartphones have revolutionized the way we live, they also come with hidden risks. Many apps are collecting far more data than we realize, tracking our every move, conversation, and preference. This data is often shared, sold, or used to target us with ads, and it's difficult to escape the surveillance that's happening behind the scenes. While it's impossible to completely stop data collection, there are steps you can take to protect your privacy. By being aware of the apps you use, reviewing permissions, and adjusting privacy settings, you can regain some control over your personal information and limit the amount of data your phone collects. Stay informed, stay cautious, and take control of your privacy in the digital age.